Gift for Mother's Day. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, 2621 East 15th Street in Panama City.
Is your restaurant looking a little tired from the long off season? Is your office a little offish? Start the new year off right by giving them a fresh start. Fresh Start Cleaning is now accepting new clients. Ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services. Fresh Start Cleaning. Get clean again with Fresh Start. Call 850-771-6917, 771-6917, and ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services.
Highland Park Baptist Church, located at 2611 Highway 231 in Panama City. Worship times are Sundays at 9 and 10:30 a.m. Our 6th through 12th grade students meet for Bible study at 9 and join the corporate worship service at the 10:30 time slot. Wednesday night activities begin with a midweek meal that starts serving food at 4:45. Wednesday night worship service and our students meet at 6 for a time of worship and Bible study. Our Next Gen clubs meet weekly throughout the district, so check for days and times at your student's school.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub, I'm full of water. I stay hot tub, stay hot tub. Gonna get you hot tub. I'm gonna make it wet. Stay hot tub, rubber dub in the hot tub, rubber dub with me. Should I get in the hot tub?
Yeah.
Will it make me sweat?
Yeah.
Should I get in the hot tub?
Yeah.
Will it make me wet?
Yeah. Welcome, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's a beautiful Thursday here in Paradise. Bike week, be careful. I tell you what, went by Newbies yesterday, had to pick up a check, and I'm telling you what, if you're a biker, and we know we got a lot of people that love sports down here listening to us right now, head out to Newbies. They got the tent set up. They got merchandise set up, all kind of merchandise. It's incredible, all the selections they have. You name it, they got it, drink specials, you name it. Great entertainment, and the place yesterday around 12, 15 bikes everywhere. And these bikers are doctors, lawyers, professional people. It's incredible, all walks of life.
They're the only ones that can afford to come down here on those big, expensive Harleys and we'll spend the gas and the hotel and everything.
Well, those bikes, man, I saw some of them. You're talking some big change. It's Tommy Sentiment money. I'm talking big money.
He's got twin Harleys, don't he?
I tell you, he did have a beautiful. The first one he got was really nice. He got another one that was incredible. And I tell you what, I don't know if you ever watched that show about Andy Griffin's show when Barney got a motorcycle
with that sidecar.
Barney, he was worried about. Andy was worried about Barney getting killed on the bike.
Yeah,
I'll never forget Phil Cobbin. At that time, it was Montego Bay. Tommy drove off, and that thing was so heavy for him. And when I thought he was going to drop, he almost dropped it when he parked it. And we both said, man, I hope he doesn't get himself killed on that thing. we were worried sick about it. But he did great. He did a really good job. Jeremy's with us this morning. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning. How are you doing, Coach? I missed you last week, but
you did a great job.
We made it through.
You did a great job.
We limped through to the finish line there.
You did great.
In honor of Jeremy, this is May 1st is National
Prayer Day. There are gatherings taking place all over. Pray for our leaders, pray for our nation, and that'll permeate the whole day here. So
you can do it here if you like. You did a great job. I heard you and Tommy call me, beg me to call in, and I was laying there going, I ain't doing it. Anyway, we went to, Tuesday went to Birmingham, saw my daughter. Wednesday we're in Pigeon Forge, and went and saw Elvis.
How's he doing?
Oh my, he was great.
Good.
The guy did a really good job. The guy did Johnny Cash and Elvis. Johnny Cash, he was unbelievable. It's hard to be Elvis now. Some of the songs, it's just hard to sound like Elvis.
You mean the guy actually sang?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He wasn't just walking around doing the
No, he had the outfit on. He did a great job. But what the most impressive thing there, they started the show with everybody doing the national anthem. They did a lot of American stuff. They showed the military on a big, huge screen, the flag. It got you kind of teary-eyed. Then they showed Elvis that American Eagle outfit on. You know, he was like,
did Elvis do Amazing Grace?
No, the American trilogy he did was just outstanding. At my funeral, I want you to make sure they play that.
Play that one there.
Play that one there.
You know, I love Johnny Cash. It's pretty easy to do old Johnny Cash. In his latter years, you know, pretty much anybody can sing like Johnny Cash in his older years.
First concert, maybe the only concert I went to until I got really older, was my mom and dad. My dad loved him. He was at Montgomery Garrett Coliseum. It was completely sold out. It's amazing. They couldn't get tickets when Elvis came, but they could get tickets when Johnny Cash. So I don't understand that.
Yeah, I got to see Willie up there at the Impact a few years ago, and of course, Willie, 90 something now, is still touring, and it was great. I mean, I felt like I was in the presence of legend here. But he came out and he just sang Georgia, and they just pointed the microphone to us, and we just sang the rest of the song. Yeah.
He got to save his energy for the rest of it.
That's a rip-off. You go to see somebody, and they have the audience sing the song. I've been to a lot of
the most impressive thing, not probably the most, but one impressive thing about that concert, they, for some reason, I don't know why, maybe made it the only way he would come. Do you know they had prisoners behind him? They had police, and they were dressed. And, you know, it was a prison there in Montgomery. So there was not a lot of them, but there were people there. First thing he did was go to them, recognize them, and talk about them.
Wow.
I mean, like,
yeah.
I didn't know at the time he'd been in jail.
He had.
So he understood what it's like to be in prison, how they're treated and everything else. So, you know, rightfully so or not.
But he seemed to be doing well in good health and yeah.
I'm talking about 1968. 1968, not the other day.
Come on now, Elvis lives. Julie said it was a near spiritual experience for you that you were crying. And
she had a picture. She got a picture. The women were getting pictures of Elvis. I jumped in there with him. Me, Julie, he got in the middle of us. It was crazy.
But I can tell you photobombed him a couple of times there.
They had this competition for all these bands and the choirs in elementary, middle school, high school. Well, it was at a church. He had to probably take 20 minutes to get there. The church, big auditorium, and this was with the elementary, and I think the middle school sang. They had different locations. Anyway, they treated you great. It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful church. But anyway, Petronas knocked it out of the ballpark. They have a huge group. That coach over there is incredible. The principal's there. She's incredible also. But they got superior, and they had these trophies, and the ceremony was at Dollywood. And I tell you what, my ears were hurting from the screaming and yelling of all those kids when they would win something. And they all clapped for one another. Yeah. Really, really great experience.
Did you give my love to Dolly like I asked you?
No, I didn't see her. I saw her, a movie of her, or saw pictures of her, saw her, the clothes she wears, her traveling bus was there, but I didn't see her. You know, her husband died recently. Have you ever seen her in concert?
I've not.
Yeah.
Not seen Dolly. So.
Well, tell us what's going on down in the church.
We had a great Easter at First United Methodist Church, Panama City. I know big day, beautiful weather Easter Sunday around here too for everybody to gather and then be with their families. We are, as most, kind of in that turn now to all the year-end activities. And, of course, we gather every Sunday, 8:15, 9:30, 10:45. But, it's an exciting time. Our calendar's kind of driven by the school year like most everybody else around here, and so we've got preschool graduations, high school graduation, all that stuff on the horizon. But check us out on Facebook or our website there. So
I encourage you to go down and listen to him preach. The guy's incredible. I knew he was great when he was in Montgomery, but he truly is outstanding.
I watched him on TV.
Yeah, great family. It's a lot easier.
What channel is that?
It's a lot easier than getting up and going early with Tommy to watch. It's easier to watch on TV. Anyway, listen. Thank you. I went right out of my mind.
Sorry. I just wanted to know.
Oh, I know what it was. I want to know this. This is very important for all of our listeners out there. We need to know what's going on with Jordan. Is it baseball? Is he into track? Is he? What's the latest?
We're still in baseball. We got a game tomorrow night at 6. So yeah, he is. They're doing well. They're undefeated.
Wow.
In the Lynn Haven League. They have a 7-run cap per inning, and they've pretty much capped out every inning there. So yeah.
I'm telling you now. I'm not just saying because he's there. I've watched the video of him. He's got a nice swing. You can tell he's kind of a natural athlete.
He's coming along. That whole team has come along.
You can tell he's been trained pretty well at a young age.
So Charlie Greenwich, who pitched for Gulf Coast, is the guy who's throwing for him in the coach pitch league. The last thing you want to do is throw a no-hitter in coach pitch. We send him out there and tell him go get his ERA up.
Can he run pretty well? Can Jordan run pretty good?
He runs well. Yeah. He got good instincts.
Total package.
Yeah. What do you think? What sport do you think he'll be? I wish he was listening now.
I think baseball is where he likes football though. And you coach football. I mean, at the early levels, handle the ball, run to the goal.
Right.
Baseball, even very early, you've still got some things that they have to, force. Do I have to run? Can I stay at the bag? I mean, there are things you have to pick up pretty early that you can't just hold back and develop later. And he's got a pretty good knack for that.
You got to be careful with football because we grew up in Montgomery, Alabama. We did tackle. There was no flag football. You started out first grade, whatever it was, and you played all the way through. That's 12 years of football. You get tired of it. I'm talking tackle football.
Yeah.
Massey Drones. I remember all these different ones. This is way back in the day. And the big deal, Jeremy, we got to play, I think it was Thanksgiving week. I can't remember really what weekend it was. But we got to play 50 yards. Game was being played one direction and the other direction. At Crampton Bowl. And that, to us, was the greatest, just looking up and seeing that huge stadium. It seemed like a monster stadium because we played, behind Seth Johnson and all those little elementary schools. But you got to be careful because there was a time, I'll never forget leaving Floyd, going to Lanier. They'd have a bus come pick you up. I didn't go. And the head coach called my dad and said where I was at. My dad walks in there. He goes, "How was practice today?" Yeah, it was good. It was pretty good.
They had a good one.
How'd you do? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I didn't want to talk about it, He goes, "Why didn't you go?" My eyes got huge. He grabbed me by the hair, took me to Lanier. But anyway, you can burn the kids out. So I like that they have flag football.
Yeah.
I like that. That's fun. You don't have to have the pads on. You don't get tired of all the hitting and stuff like that.
It's a conversation that we're having a lot with the guys, dads that are kind of raising boys same age, pacing them.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got concerns about, just how much you play, how long you play, keeping it fun, age appropriate for where they should be relative to the game, not burning them out. You get the kids that are just starting to hit their prime and they're exhausted, they're tired, and traveled all over. And we didn't even start playing organized till 8. Now we're just seeing it right on down to 3 and 4 with the wee ball.
I don't know what it was like for you, but we played baseball. It was just like in the summer.
Yeah.
It was the summer, and then when summer's over, you go to football.
Yeah, we played 18 games and we were done, and you just move on to the next one. And the year-round piece, the travel piece, and I know it's lucrative. I mean, I get the sort of business side of that.
Yeah.
But you're also developing kids, and you're trying to keep them healthy, keep them engaged in the game, and how much is too much?
And I'll tell you what, you said keeping them engaged. If you're a parent out there listening right now, you have no idea. It doesn't really have to be sports, dance, singing, band, choir, things like that. If you keep these kids busy and keep them involved, being part of a team, it's proven they make better grades, they're in less trouble, and females don't get pregnant at a young, as a college and stuff like that. I mean, in high school and things like that. That's proven fact. So you want your kids involved in that. And of course, you'd love to have a great coach, them, to learn from. And most of the time, you're going to get a pretty good one. So keep the kids involved in sports if you want them to turn out to be better people.
You're spot on. I mean, you and I look at it through the lens of sports because you learn discipline, resilience, toughness, those things. But those things can be learned whether you're practicing an instrument and you've got to stay hours on end to perfect it, or choir or art. So, extracurriculars and developing those gifts. Because, not every kid's going to be a great athlete, but then not every kid's going to be a great musician. Not every kid's going to be a great artist or what have you. So, but that taps into their passion. And I think our role here is to keep it at a pace so that it stays something they're hungry to do and be, willing to do.
No doubt. And you can be part of a great team. I mean, and when I say great team, you might not win a championship, but just getting along with each other, learning those skills like that. So I'll tell you what, when you have a lot of, I'm one of the perfect example. If I have a lot of free time, I'm going to get in trouble somehow, some way.
Oh, yeah,
so you got to stay doing something to get going. And there's drugs now. everywhere. You can get into drinking. There's idiots that drink every single day. They're going to shorten their lives. That's a fact, too. So drinking, they're getting into that. Drugs, smoking dope, stuff like that. You don't want to get involved. You want to get involved in sports. Believe me.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about it. We're at Bike Week going. I don't know. We kind of got off our subject, but I enjoyed that. That's pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed that. That's it. We're out for today. 104 points. No. Today.
See you tomorrow, folks.
Be careful. Bike Week. They're everywhere. People are enjoying themselves. Just watch every single year. We all know it. Throughout the Panhandle of Florida, Bay County, they have terrible wrecks because people just not paying attention.
Save a life, look twice.
Say it again.
Save a life, look twice.
And if you've been having too much to drink, don't get on that bike. Don't get in that car. Nope. 1 second, change your life forever. But anyway, we got a couple things you can do. The biggest deal is newbies. Get down to newbies. Again, the tents are out. We're talking about the mothership. I went by there and saw the merchandise is incredible. Everything you could possibly think of, they have down there. Bands, unbelievable. Drink specials. Go down, check it out. People are loaded up newbies at noon yesterday.
And that newbies is kind of away from all the traffic.
Yeah, it's easy to get in,
so
get out. They got their own security.
That's what I love about that place.
Exactly. So we got all the things going on there. Go check it out. And if you're a biker, then check out some of our great restaurants. If you're over in Lynn Haven, people driving everywhere. If you're over in Lynn Haven, head out to Beef O'Brady, see Pat Perno, the city commissioner over there. They got great food. They treat you like family. TV's everywhere. When you want to watch a professional baseball game, college baseball game, whatever, Beef O'Brady and Lynn Haven's the place to do it. You're over that way, you might as well go look for some jewelry. You got a girlfriend, you got a wife, you got both.
Yeah.
Where are you going to go?
Or if you get in trouble over here, it's a good idea to stop at David Adamson Designer Jewelry and pick up something nice for the wife or the girlfriend. And right now they got a big spring, the whole new display that they have out is all new merchandise for the spring, especially for the spring. Mother's Day is coming up, and a lot of people are coming down here to get engaged. If you decide to get engaged, they can design a ring, one of a kind for that one of a kind girl, have it on her finger in 10 days for less than anybody. David Adamson.
They told me they could actually design one for me. That's incredible. Unbelievable. That's amazing. Unreal. Also, if we're talking about the skin, the summertime is here. Make sure you take care of yourself. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. It can be deadly. 5 minutes can save your life. Go see Dr. Ward. Make an appointment throughout the Panhandle of Florida. He's got an office near you. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. David's got a new place opened up. It's on Front Beach Road, but the one right across the Navy base on Thomas Drive, Navy Drive, whatever you want to call it. That's the place I love to go. Tonight's the night. You want to hear some great singing, karaoke's going on, it'll be packed out. Great place to have birthday parties. The best happy hour anywhere. Buy one, get one free. Draft beer, house wine, margaritas. Yes, margaritas. Go check it out. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
You still with your wife, or did she leave you?
No, she never leaving me, buddy. Hey, I go back to work Monday. I'm going for a whole month. I'll be gone for a whole month. She can do whatever she wants. You
ever thought that the reason she stays with you is you're never there?
I know her.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Thursday's weather forecast. Partly sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 80 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight, a light breeze and a temperature of 72. The same tomorrow around 80 with some sun and a wind around 8 miles per hour out of the south. Partly cloudy in the morning, but otherwise likely thunderstorms Saturday and warm around 78. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey, it's David Hayes from ESPN Northwest Florida, right here in Panama City. Look, if you've been in an accident, I know your first call is usually the insurance, but don't stop there. Your next call should be Jed Lawyers. I've seen what they do. Local team, real results, no upfront fees. They're based right here in downtown Panama City, and they'll jump on your case from day one. Call 850-852-0000 or head to jedwins.com.
Hewitt Tire and Auto.
Call 850-769-7323.
Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing.
Visit them online at HewittTire.com.
On Airport Road in Panama City.
850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Need a tow? Call Billy at Hometown Towing, 850-265-1562.
He's a 10-foot tall, barrel-chested beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Please welcome.
Pain don't hurt.
Live and local from the J. Michaels studio, the Coach James Hale Show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. Beautiful weather, no excuse. Get out and support all these wonderful baseball teams who are still fighting for the state championship. And we got a ways to go. The pressure is on all these teams around here. Bozeman, they go to game 3. Arnold goes to game 3. South Walton sweeps. They continue their journey to a state championship. We got 3 of the best coaches. We got 3 of the best teams.
Can I just say that it's nice to say we're talking about best of 3 finally in Florida high school baseball.
You always were pushing for that.
Now, it's for the regionals only, but it's baseball, and that's so much better than the one game straight up.
And let me get this. If you listen for the first time, he knows what he's talking about. He officiated games in the great state of Alabama, and he's been pushing for this for a long time, where you truly find out the best teams.
There's going to be some tweaks to it. I don't know that we need to make a team travel from Jacksonville to Panama City when you're already in one site, but I get the home field and then make them come back, but at least for now, the single elimination.
Well, let's ask one of the best that ever done it. Coach Jones, how you doing, sir?
I'm all right. How are you? I don't know if I qualify for what you just said, but we'll see.
I think you do. There's no doubt. You're incredible. Let me ask you this, and I might have asked you this before, and forgive me, I forget what day it is. In California, Alabama, Jeremy just got through talking about it. He was always for this, to play 3 games, to try to find out who the truly best team is. How did they do it in California? Was it 1 game and you're done, or did you play 3?
It was 1 game and you're done in California. I was part of the coaches committee that would talk to the state about possible changes all the time, and we were constantly fighting to try and get a 2 out of 3 series like we have here now. And it just never worked out, at least when I was there. I think, I could be wrong, but I think their top division now might do 2 out of 3, but only the top, like the biggest schools or the top division. But I might even be wrong about that. But it was definitely single elimination. It was definitely a bone of contention for year after year. And, I think it's still probably the case for almost all of the California schools.
So if you have
in Southern California, there's a bunch of different sections in California, and they may do it differently. But where I was in Southern California, it was single elimination, just like it was here up until this year.
In a way, I'm not a baseball expert, but I think I am, but I'm not. I'm like most of the parents. I think I got all the answers, but I don't. When you have a great pitcher, and y'all both answer this, and you only have 1 game to win, and you only play 1 game a week, you can ride him to the state championship, right?
All the way.
All the way, and that's exactly how my first year here 5 years ago, after the COVID year, we literally did play 1 game a week in the playoffs, and since then it was 2 games a week, and so you had to ride more than just the 1 pitcher. But like when Mosley won their state championship a few years ago, they had the 1 kid, I think, threw every pitch for him until the championship game of the state championship game down in Fort Myers. So it was literally a thing that you could do if you had a really good guy and he could be economical with his pitches. You could ride 1 guy for quite a while. And softball's the same way. Softball's a different kind of a sport. I don't think they would do 2 out of 3, but that's up to them.
Yeah, you played this 1 game a week, Coach, and then you get the state finals. You had to play back-to-back days for the first time in a month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was quirky.
Yeah.
It's just quirky.
That's a good term for it, yes.
I just want us to get there. Let's just get to the state championship. We still got a ways to go. All right, let's talk about it. If you'd have done it the old way, you guys move on. What happened? Give us a little rundown during the game, who played well, how to get away from you, and then we got to talk about tonight.
So we're playing Choctaw, Choctawhatchee, real good opponent. We played them Monday night at our place. We won 1-0 in just a classic pitcher's duel. Cooper Moss started for us. He threw 4 2/3 innings, only gave up 1 hit, and the 1 hit was a ball that our right fielder Carter Campbell made a great diving catch on, but when he hit the ground, the ball popped out. So we almost kept our no-hit streak alive there for a while. But Cooper struck out 9 in that amount of time, but we pulled Cooper knowing that we might need to bring him back on Thursday, today now. So we pulled him after 59 pitches, and the rule is 60 pitches for 2 days rest. So we pulled him there in a 0-0 game in the 5th inning, which was a tough call to actually have the guts to go out and do. Not trying to pat anybody, but it was, it's tough to do to pull the ball out of his hand, but we had a lot of faith in Jackson Ross, sophomore lefty for us. He came in and was just outstanding, struck out the first batter to get out of the 5th, and then threw 2 1/3, only gave up 1 hit himself, struck out 4 and earned the win for us. We finally scored a run in bottom of the 6th. We had the bases loaded in bottom of the 1st with 1 out, thinking, here we go. But their pitcher, Alperson, threw a great game. He made a nice pitch, got a double play to get out of it and settled in, and then just seemed like it might take all night before somebody scored. Fortunately for us, it was us in bottom of the 6th. Cooper Moss was on first, ended up stealing second base because he is a speed wizard. But it was a missed hit and run, and he kept going and hustled and beat the catcher's throw. And then Mason Lehman hit a ball towards the first base and made him range to his right, took a little bit of a kick and bounced off, I think, his glove or some part of his body, and kicked to the right, and Cooper scored all the way from second on that. And like I said, Jackson Ross went out there and shut him down in the 7th. We won that one 1-0. So like you said, if it was single elimination, it would have been quite a treacherous, heart-wrenching kind of game, but we came out on the right end.
Yeah.
But then the next night on Tuesday, Choctaw came out swinging the bats a little bit. We started Nico Landavazo. They scored 1 run in the 1st and 1 run in the 2nd. We brought in Carter Campbell to pitch for us some. He did 2 2/3 innings, held them at bay some. They scored 1 run in each of the first 4 innings. We scored a couple, so it was 4-2 after 4. We scratched across 1 in the 5th, and then bottom of the 7th, we scored a run. Excuse me. Cooper Moss, once again, I think led off with a double, if I stand corrected, and then ended up scoring on a wild pitch to tie the game at 4. So we went extra innings, and in the 8th inning, Choctaw scored a few runs off of Austin Hendricks. But I have to point out, Austin Hendricks came in and pitched for us in the 5th inning, threw up 3 straight zeros when we were down 4-2, gave us a chance to come back in the game. We just kept riding him. We were a little shorter on pitching, and he was having success. He threw 80 pitches that night. I don't think he's thrown 80 pitches on the mound in the last 2 years total for us, and he just really stepped up for us. It's unfortunate somebody had to lose, and they scored the runs when he was out there, but if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had the chance to be as close as we were to pulling that one out on Tuesday. So they won that one 7-4, and now we get to go to their place today and see who the best team is in the 2 out of 3.
So, Coach, the big question with the shift to 2 out of 3, how's your pitching looking going into tonight?
Well, we're in pretty good shape tonight. We, like I said, we split the game Monday between Cooper Moss and Jackson Ross, and we're able to do that again tonight. They're both, eligible to come back and pitch, but more importantly, they both feel really good. Their arms are in as good a shape as you can be at this point in the year, and so we feel like we have those two. We got Eli Blair if we absolutely need them to. So we really have our top 3 pitchers available tonight, and our thinking is they'll be at their 3rd or 4th best pitcher. So, the advantage for us is on the mound, as honestly usually it is. We're so fortunate to have the guys that we have. But we are in decent shape there. We just got to find a way to score more runs than them. But certainly like our chances. We liked our chances coming into the week, but we also knew, I think I told you Monday, that this was probably going to be a 3-game series. This is a real quality Choctaw team, and they have a nice mix of younger and older talent. I think this is, no matter win, lose, or draw tonight, this is not the last we're going to hear at Choctaw in the next few years on the baseball field. They have a they're an up-and-coming program with some really quality players, and they're playing great right now and loose and easy, and they're fun to watch. But, it's time to see if we can put them away.
So I've been scouting, a little bit, kind of reading things on. They're saying over in Okaloosa County, one biggest ball game to take place, over that way in a long time. So you're going on the road, huge crowd, and you gave all the accolades to Choctaw. Obviously, in just coaching and the X's and O's of this, you want to be, the one with the last bat. But when you are going into a hostile situation, to me, this top of the first inning and just knocking the momentum out of the stadium is going to be critical. And, you've got first bats. Go ahead and take the wind out of it and ride the pitching is kind of my hope for you tonight.
Well, mine too. We're on the same boat there. Yeah, it's nice to. You're right. I mean, it's nice to have the last at bat, but there's a lot of me that really would prefer to score first, and score in the top of the first would be great. And then obviously, we're so fortunate we got Cooper Moss on our team. So if we can score a couple on the top of the first, and then they see Cooper trot out there in the bottom of the first, that's
ideal.
Tough for our team to take, and that's as good a situation as we can be in. And we'll take our chances, but I certainly hope to score early and take a little bit of the pressure off. I don't think we feel a lot of pressure. I mean, I mentioned to the guys yesterday, it's kind of the first time because of the 2 out of 3 scenario and the way we've been playing all year. It's kind of the first time I got a taste of our own mortality after Tuesday, where it really could be over the next time we play, and it certainly could be over tonight because they're a quality team. But we have a great group of kids. We're in a good shape here. We're in as about as good a shape as we can be going into Game 3, and we're just going to have to see how things play out. That's why they play the game. But I'd rather be going over there with my group than with anybody else.
Yeah, we're running over, but I did want to ask you this. We go on to playoff games and football. Both teams know what's going on tonight. Choctaw, Arnold, the kids, everybody's going to be a little nervous. But it's a team that doesn't beat themselves, doesn't make the mistakes. I always wanted my kids to be confident and calm, not build them up too much. You think the moment's too big for these guys? You think? How do you feel about that? Do you think they're ready to go?
I think so. We've been doing this with a lot of this group for 4 years. We've been going through some of the toughest schedule in the state, playing games like this, quite often. Obviously, there's more on the line in this game than some of the other games that we've played, but we've certainly been on a relatively big stage considering it's high school baseball in the Panhandle. We've been on a pretty big stage quite often, and they always come through, and they relish the opportunity. That's why we're the team we are. They're really competitive kids. They love to play, and I don't think we'll be tight. I don't know if we'll win or lose or whatever, but I think we'll go out there and we'll play the way we play and take our chances with that. That's the kind of group we got, and you got to respect that.
Huge crowd tonight at Choctaw. Arnold traveling over there. All you people in Panama City Beach, get out there and support them. It's not that far of a trip. They're going to have plenty of people from Choctaw. Make sure we have a lot from supporting Arnold. And I can give you a little bit of advice, Coach. I had to deal with it myself. Brian Norman, I noticed when you're on TV, he walks over and stands right beside you. It takes the focus off of you, and I wish you would tell him not to do that. And if anything goes negative again, make sure you bring his name up, okay?
Well, we try and have a pretty face on the camera as often as we can. So we get Norman back there to, like you said, to take the focus off my face a little bit. But yeah, if anything goes wrong, I'll
this
make
is
sure
coming
you
from a
help
guy
pass along your advice.
This is coming from a guy that photobombed Elvis.
Yeah. All right, Coach, good luck. Go get you a win tonight, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Good luck.
We get back. We got another legendary coach, the legend, Doug Lee, Mosley High School. Do I got time to do any commercials? I can do one. You're talking about legendary, the legendary J. Michael's Restaurant, the best seafood, the coldest beer. Get out there, all you bikers. Have a great. It was packed out yesterday. It always is on Wednesday. World famous spaghetti. You love great cheeseburgers, great steaks, pork chops. It's J. Michael's. But if you truly love seafood, it's the legendary J. Michael's Restaurant, ice cold draft beer. Go check it out. You'll love it. We'll be right back. 104.3. Jeremy Pridgeon, Tommy Sedemont, and Josh both in Orlando with that convention going on down there. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdog.
I enjoyed it. I'm a big Tebow guy. Not a Florida fan, but a big Tebow guy. And you talk about a heart of a lion and just loving the game of football the way that he did. And my God, I mean, you had a serial killer on your team, and you still got to national championships. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Tired of flipping through channels and finding nothing good? Introducing Scorpion TV. Over 5,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch 400 local network channels from Panama City and most markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Scorpion TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200 plus entertainment and news networks, or watch thousands of movies on demand, all for just $45 a month when you use the ESPN NW promo code at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Scorpion TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Scorpion TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Scorpion TV logo. Don't forget our promo code ESPN NW.
He doesn't try on clothes at the department stores. He just rips stuff off the hanger and lives with the consequences for years.
It's classy, it's intriguing.
He's sexy, sassy, and full of spunk.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You caught us, Wildcat. Jeremy had a picture of his beautiful family. It was an Easter picture. I'm telling you right now, his daughter's gorgeous, but they look exactly like Mama.
Good for them.
Yeah, I think Jordan's going to look like Jeremy.
What a kick in the head.
If you've not seen Jeremy, get on Facebook. He's very handsome. There's no doubt about that.
He's got good skin.
And I showed him the picture of my beautiful grandson, Johnny. We had Johnny last night, and he was playing. And I'm going to get him as soon as he can. He will be focused in on baseball. I'm telling you that right now. I think that Jeremy, the worst thing I ever did is quit playing baseball. I regret it to this day. I wish I'd have kept playing. I was pretty good. But in Alabama, football is such a big deal.
It is.
It's, you know, I hate keep involved in sports. We got a guy on. We want to pick his brain. A lot of different things. And he is the best. I think he's maybe the best coach Bay County's produced. He is the face of Mosley baseball. He took it to where it is today, wins the state championship. He got out of it for a while, got into administration, and he came back. And you don't see that a whole lot, Jeremy.
No.
Get out for a long period of time and somebody come back. And we just want to know how he enjoyed it, how's it going, and pick his brain about everything that's going on this day and time. We have the legendary Doug Lee. Coach, good morning, sir.
Hey, Coach. Good morning. How are y'all doing?
We're doing outstanding. I want to thank you for coming on. I know you're busy. I appreciate you spending time with us. Jeremy has been fighting for the 3-game series in the playoffs. He did it in Alabama. He umped or referee, whatever you call it, all those games. You did the same things. You've done it as a coach. You've done it as an ump, or what do they call him, a referee?
Umpire.
Umpire. Are you glad it's a 3-game series, or would you just tell us what you think? Would you rather go back and just have one game during the playoffs week and use the stud pitcher and get through? What do you like, and what would you change?
Well, Coach, if I was being completely honest, I'd want to pick and choose what year I'd want to use that system.
I get it. Hey, I get it.
Yeah, last week, we didn't have our, Carter Payne, our ace, and, being a little shorthanded last week, obviously, I wish it would have been a single-game format. But, no, I do think a true reflection of the best team is a 2-out-of-3 format. I'm grateful that Florida went to that, and I think it is a true representation. And I think it brings a little bit of strategy to it. I heard Coach Jones just a minute ago. I mean, he made a bold move on Monday night. It worked out great for Arnold. Set him up perfect for tonight. But that takes a lot of guts for a head coach to do that. And so there is some strategy and there's some planning that goes into it for a coaching staff. And so, I like it, honestly.
Doug, a couple of things here. Obviously, it's new. Is there going to be a time where this is kind of reviewed and people kind of give their initial feedback? One of the things that, for example, you guys had to travel to Lake City with the potential of having to come back. Arnold's hosted 2. Now they have to travel to Choctaw. That's not too far. But you've got some cases where Bozeman's been to Jacksonville. They're going to come back to tonight, to play. Do you think that part's going to be revisited?
Yeah, and I think they'll continue to talk about it every year and discuss it. Like you said, Bozeman have to go to Jacksonville 2 weeks in a row. That starts to really dig in financially for a school and for a community. So, I don't know if there'll be some more conversation about that. I don't know, how you can kind of work that out to where they're, kind of in the same region, but I'm just thinking of junior college. I mean, I know Miami-Dade's driving 10 hours to come play Gulf Coast in 2 out of 3 this week. Right. As far as their first part of their state. So I don't know, what the answer. I don't have a solution to it, but I do like the 2 out of 3 format, and I'm sure that's kind of some of the reason why they. In the Final Four, they're still in a single-game format because of just the financial piece of it. Yeah,
Alabama, where they had the 2 out of 3. Game 1, the host team for the whole weekend was home team. Game 2, it flipped, and they were the visitors at the same site, and it was a doubleheader same day. And sometimes you get a sweep and you were done. Right. But then if it split, you went to Game 3 the next day, and the home team got to be the home team again in Game 3. But it eliminated that second travel piece that I'm seeing here with Florida. So that's one way that they did it. Georgia, they do the single game on Friday and then come back on Saturday to guarantee that you're going to be there 2 days. And then if you split, you go to Game 3 same day. So even the neighboring states have a little different formats.
Right, and I could see that probably coming down the pipe for sure. I'm not a big proponent of doubleheaders, I'll be honest with you. I don't like doubleheaders, but I know for the financial piece, that's probably what's best.
Well, I agree with you, because sometimes on a doubleheader, momentum from Game 1 just carries to Game 2. And, the number of times I saw a split was pretty rare, actually, because you get Game 1, you got the momentum, bats are hot. Some reason you can't wake up the bats. They just stay cold all day.
Right. Well, I just think of our Game 1 last week. We lost a heartbreaker, 2-1, and then with the idea you had to find a way somehow to get regrouped and play right after that. I just think it's a little tougher. So I don't know. That's kind of my thought on it.
And I know the financial piece. To me, Doug, and Tommy and I last week were talking kind of during the breaks. I think one of the pieces that's going to be real interesting. I suspect somebody in Gainesville is going to go through and look at every series and see how many teams that won Game 1 ended up dropping the next 2. Because, see, if you win Game 1 and you lose Game 2, but you come back to win Game 3, well, you pretty much had the winner of the series after Game 1.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But it's the one that you win Game 1, but then you drop the next 2. How many of those series were out there? And I think that's going to be a key part of this when the data comes in.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there'll be some reflection on that, and I think you're right on that idea.
I want to ask you a question. I want to pick your brain on this. You've coached all these years. You've been administrator, county aide, all these different things, all these titles you've had. We're losing coaches to this great state of Georgia. They pay is outstanding. We got some of the best, and I want everybody out there to understand something. When I go out in the community, I've been doing radio now for 9 years. It's a lot, I'm going to tell you what, Doug, it's a lot easier to get here and talk about it than it is getting out there and coaching and doing it. I found that out. But when I go out in the community during football season, I'm over in town, you hear a little bit about this coach, that coach, and they're planting seeds, they're not happy. But when it's baseball season, wherever I go, the pressure on these baseball coaches, I said it since I've been here, they'll fire a baseball coach in a heartbeat. everybody's a baseball coach. Everybody's got the answers. And what can we do in Bay County to keep these great baseball coaches we have? And we've got some of the best in the southeast in the country right here. You're one of them. But you guys don't get paid very well. I was even thinking maybe I was hopefully talking to Josh about it. And he's him and Tom are down in Orlando right now. That committee, what is it?
FIA.
Yeah,
thank you, Doug.
They're down there, but I know the union's involved in it. I think we've got to do something about with the union getting the coaches to make more money, especially the baseball coaches. And listen, every sport's important to every kid. It is. There's no doubt about it. But in the old days, it was the big three: football, basketball, baseball. In this county, I think it's football, baseball, and soccer's becoming really popular. But if you go look at the attendance and stuff like that, I still think football and baseball might be the biggest. And I don't want to start a big argument about that. That's just an opinion. But we got to do something. Do you guys ever get together to coaches as a group of coaches and go, look, we got to get the supplements up to keep our assistants. We got to keep the coaches up, keep our head coaches. You were an administrator. George is killing us. People, they did an article down in Central Florida. Everybody's leaving, going there. The top coaches are. We need to keep these guys in the state. I was even hoping, I was going to ask Josh, I said, any way, and talk to some of the school board members, if it's like your staff, there's I think 4 series to win the state championship. I think you have to win 3 series, then get to Fort Myers to play for the state. If you gave each coach on the staff, I don't know, $500 for win the first series, and you could only have a limit of 3 and they had to be coaches inside the building. You couldn't be a guy off the street that get paid a supplement. But that way, they'd make, if they win a state championship, they get a $2,000 bonus. The assistant coaches and the head coach. I think things like that would be important. Am I crazy thinking this way? Give me some input on what I'm thinking.
Well, I think there's a lot of factors that go into that. I know there is a push down south. I think there's a state representative from down in Palm Beach is kind of pushing to help coaches and trying to get the supplements up and across the board. And I know Coach Whidden just recently went to Tallahassee during our baseball season to speak to them about it a little bit. And I think I just think as an athletic director, when I go to try to hire coaches, there's nobody's applying. They're just hard to find quality coaches, and there's just a shortage. And a lot of times, especially you don't find many on campus. Thankfully the policies have loosened up where you can hire somebody outside the school, or we would be in trouble probably. Mm-hmm. But we've got a majority of our coaches are really from the community to some degree. Wow. But I do think it has a lot to do with the time factor, the money, the resources, all the things. And then it's just it's tough being a coach in this day and this time we live in. Yeah, no doubt about that. Man, we've run over. Doug, I want to thank you so much. What a great, everybody, we kind of listened to everything we said. The word on the street was Mosley was going to be down this year. It's going to be a rebuilding year. Heck, in a rebuilding year, you take them to the state playoffs. I think that's pretty incredible. Were you pleased? Were you okay where you at? I know you never get what you really want, but were you okay with what these kids did? Absolutely. I was, and we had a lot of questions going into the season in 2025, but to get in that playoff this first year and to get that experience with these young kids, I think that's going to be pivotal going down the road. I thought we finished the year very confident, and I think that just is going to, build into next season. So we're looking forward to the off season. We got a lot of work to go before next January, especially in the weight room and getting stronger and bigger and physically and all that kind of stuff. But that's going to be our priority, and so we're looking forward to 2026 already. Well, I certainly appreciate you coming on, and you always never turn us down. We appreciate that. And I'll be honest with you. I think most people probably think this way. When you think of Bay County and you think of Mosley High School, the first name that always popped up in my head, because he's been there when I first got here, I tried to hire him, is Doug Lee, or any other coach. And I'm not cutting down any of the other coaches, but I think he's kind of the face of Mosley. And I'll say the same thing for Bozeman is Jeff Patton. Just
they are. They're the face of the
they're
school.
They're equated there, yeah.
Yeah, and
Well, I do appreciate those kind of words, Coach, but I tell you, there's been a lot of people come through Mosley High School. There's a lot of history here, way before I got here, and it's a special place. It's had a lot of great players, a lot of great athletes, and a lot of great coaches. So just to have the privilege to be back here, so I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
well, we're glad you're back, buddy. Good luck to you. We'll talk to you this summer. We're going to have you come on and spend some time with us, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks for
Thank
all
you,
y'all
buddy.
do.
Appreciate it, sir. Appreciate you. All right, let's talk about some of our great people that I appreciate. Kyle Vandergriff, you know the family really well. Wonderful. The mom and dad, legendary people, no doubt about that. They've been involved developing kids for, golly, maybe 30, 40 years. Incredible. Wonderful people. Their son, Kyle Vandergriff, you and I have been there, and Tommy, we've been there. I've been there several times. It's downtown historical Panama City, the local 115. It's a sports bar type, great draft beer, but they got gumbo, the crab cakes, the best you'll get anywhere. Go check it out. We're going to go there Saturday morning. There's a chance of storm Saturday morning. I hope that's not true, but we're going to go to the market. We're going to go down. All you bikers, you want to go down and check out something that's pretty cool, go down there. You'll love it. They always got people singing music outside, but I'll never forget we were in there eating. Wildcat, we're in there eating. Jeremy gets on the phone, calls one of his members of his church and goes, "Hey, how y'all doing? What are y'all doing?" They turn around and look and see. They about fainted. That was awesome, man. You enjoyed it. We had a great time.
That was
down
great.
there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The local 115 downtown Panama City Beach. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Hey, do you want to look better, feel better? This guy, I love this guy. Locals taking care of locals. Jason Kovaleski graduated from Bay High School. Glenn will shoot me, so we'll hear. Bay High School. The guy's incredible. You want to feel good about yourself. You got joint pains, he can help you. You got high cholesterol, he can help you with natural supplements. They can do it all. You having problems sleeping, they got meal plans. They got it all. Max Fit Sports Nutrition, #1. Also, it's going to be hot. This summer is going to be brutal. We got Stevenson Air Conditioning. That's all we need to worry about. Local taking care of locals. That's Stevenson Air Conditioning throughout the Panhandle of Florida. They'll show up when they tell you. They'll do an incredible job. Your power bill is going to go down. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, "Hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida." From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Thursday's weather forecast. Partly sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 80 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight, a light breeze and a temperature of 72. The same tomorrow around 80 with some sun and a wind around 8 miles per hour out of the south. Partly cloudy in the morning, but otherwise likely thunderstorms Saturday and warm around 78. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
That boot store can help you dress in style, from casual Western wear for a night out with family and friends to a special meeting that requires a fashion touch with Western flair. From boots to hats, belts to shirts to jeans and a lot more for the smallest of the largest in name brand Western attire, including Carhartt work clothes. Shop that boot store for the whole family. Open Tuesday through Thursday 9 to 5, Friday and Saturday 9 to 5:30. Next to Billboard Kia, 15th Street, Panama City, where God is good all the time.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
Lots of force on this one. Hello, Chop House. A 2-run homer.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. My hair is not looking right. I don't know. It's not looking like I need to look today. I told Jeremy, I saw a picture of myself, said, I look good at one time. I don't know what has happened.
When was the picture taken?
That's a bad camera.
Thank you, sir. I think who's ever operating that camera does that on purpose when I look bad. It's prayer day. I would like all of you do me a favor right now. We love her, Lala. Her name is Laura Baker. Going through a little thing, having a little bit of surgery done today, and we'd ask you to say a little prayer that everything goes well. And Laura Baker, it's going to be fine. She's going to be fine, but she's having to do a little bit of surgery. And we asked the surgeon to do a great job, and she recovers quickly, and nothing recurs afterwards. Matter of fact, she is my grandparent. She's a grandmother, the Lala of my grandkids. It's Jared's mother-in-law, Laura Baker. Eric, I love Eric. Wonderful family, wonderful people. So keep them in your prayers. We certainly appreciate that. And while we're talking about that, I would ask you to do this. Ron Mulvey, we love him. I've known him since he's moved here, him and Beth, the family. Wonderful people. I mean, just the best. If you could help them out anyway, they're going to have to be doing a lot of traveling. And you see him hear him on the radio or see him on Facebook and things like that when he's doing radio. But he's going through quite a bit, and they need some help. So we're asking you to go fund me, which remember, though, they do get a cut of the pie. So you go to search, type in Ryan and his fight, and give what you can give. It could be $5, $10, whatever. Wildcat gave a huge sum. You really did. God bless you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We've had so many people bring money to me and bring a check. Because I charge a service charge, too, when it's cash. No, bring
cash and carry.
I think about that. Should I take a part of it? No, bring a check. Make the check out to Ron Mulvey. I'll make sure he gets it. Jerry Resher, God bless you. What a wonderful man. He actually mailed me one. But you can bring it here to the studio. What's it called, a drop box? You can put an envelope.
Drop box.
Write Ron Mulvey's name on it.
204 East Ellen Lane.
Yeah.
Right off of Navy Boulevard.
Drop it in there, and Randy will make sure that Ryan gets the check. So we're trying to help out every way he can.
You know, Ryan is fighting a tough battle, as we're all aware of here. My first interactions with him, I didn't know Ryan. I just knew that he was one of the coaches in the rec league, and he was kind of the Steve Spurrier of rec league coaching. And if it was, if it was 25-0, well, that was your problem.
Yeah, that's a true story. This guy has a spreadsheet of play calls I've never seen. I mean, I thought it was Bear Bryant out there. It was unbelievable. You know, I coached. I never had one that long. It was unbelievable. Everything you could do.
So he has that tenacity, and that's why he can fight that way.
And believe me, if he can score, he's going to score.
He's going to score, we went head-to-head a couple of times there before I really got to know him, and, really admire he and Beth and the whole family and our girls, our friends now. Yeah, watching Liam come along. But, man, there were nights I went away going, who is this guy? And this is rec league, and then I realized, no, we're just going to have to meet force with force here.
Hey, like Bobby Bowden said, right?
That's right.
The other half of that's your fault.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness. All right, I'm going to talk to you a couple things. The Atlanta Falcons fined their defensive coordinator $100,000. I don't think the Falcons did anything to him. What we're talking about, Deion's son, the defensive coordinator, he had a cell phone just for the draft, and all the teams, gyms, they had his cell number. Let him know when he's going to be drafted. And, they do that with all these different players, get their phone numbers, all the information, contact information. Well, the son of the defensive coordinator of Atlanta Falcons, I'm not going to mention any names because I'm just going over this. He's the one that faked, what do you call it? Called Deion's son.
A little bit of
what's the name? Shador?
Yeah, Shador Sanders.
Called him, and anyway, it wasn't a good thing. Wasn't a good move. Wasn't very good. Wasn't very friendly. Wasn't very nice.
Pranked him, whatever you
call it. So I don't think the Atlanta Falcons were going to fine him, but the NFL, boom, $100,000 in D.C.
They called him up and said,
"You're going to be drafted.
You're going to be drafted," and then they said, "Sorry about your luck," or something like that. Something really cruel there at the end.
Bad.
Good. Yep.
I mean, I'm surprised that's never happened.
Yeah,
before.
I am too. They fined the defensive coordinator $100,000. Then they turn around and find the Atlanta Falcons $250,000. That phone call, that one little phone call, that one little joke cost $350,000.
In related news, there'll be a $1 surcharge to all Atlanta Falcon tickets for the first 3 games.
What sell bills are going to go up?
I haven't talked to you since the draft. What did you think about all that?
That was quite interesting. I mean,
I'm not buying into the fact they all got together and said we're not going to draft him.
No, I think scouts are going to be there. If you've got the person that's got the talent, then you're going to get the talent and go with them. Mm-hmm. And they saw something they didn't necessarily agree with. Now, are there draft picks that are a little riskier than others? Yeah. There's big question marks as to what happened in Seattle with Jalen Milroe. I mean, the fact that you got an entire Alabama locker room ready to walk out if he came back, and then Milroe gets picked up. Okay, let's see what happens. But they saw something, and that's what happens with a scout. Sometimes you have to see things in an individual that others don't see in themselves, or others look at them and go, I might just take a chance on this one.
I don't know how much time we've got, but I wanted to get in this. Belichick, 8-time Super Bowl coach, 6-time Super Bowl winner. Jordan Hudson, his 24-year-old girlfriend, from what I've heard, she gets involved in a lot of things. They were doing an interview with CBS. She asked how they meet. She interrupts it and goes, we're not going to talk about that. I don't know. She's very protective of him, but some people are going after it. They don't like it. They express concerns about, is Belichick still in charge? Publicly, this doesn't look good for North Carolina. It doesn't look good for Belichick. And she criticized, this is public record, she criticized the staff that they weren't sheltering him from criticism, that they needed a better job. They talked, I guess, assistant coaches, people in charge of athletics at North Carolina. She said they need to do a better job. She's a chief operating officer of Belichick's Productions. Maybe that's the reason she speaks up and says the same she does.
He's a very secretive kind of guy. And what's he on, his 3rd book now?
Yeah.
He's getting ready to release his 3rd book.
Yeah.
So she's doing something right.
Well, she's telling the school staff how to do their job, and they're not liking it very much. So it's not very good look when you first start a job. Jerry, I guess I'm right on this. Maybe you think I'm wrong. CBS interview, I don't know if you guys seen it. You know what, though, seriously? I just kind of think she's trying to protect her boyfriend. I mean, you can't really criticize somebody that's trying to protect him.
Because he's that kind of backward shy as far as the public appearance thing goes.
I just never forget, what was it, 10 years ago before you were married, I saw you, and that girl was probably 17 and you were 40. I think she loved you for your looks, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seriously, what do you think about it? 72, was he 73, 72, 73 years old with a 24-year-old?
Yeah.
Hey, whatever you're doing. Just to me, I would question. I think she
Jason Koleski about inviting.
What I really believe, and that's just me being ugly, but if I was 70-something years old and I had I could be a granddaughter, guys. Come on.
Yeah, that's kind of.
To me, I think she likes me because of my money.
Even if she is an old soul, as some women are, they like older men because they're mature and they know what they want and blah, blah, blah. But
stay with your own age group. Stay within about a 10-year. My dad was 11 years older than my mother.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about something good and positive now. And I love Belichick. I really do. I think he's maybe the best NFL coach of all time. All right. I do know what's the best around here. It's Dr. Chad Mitchell, the legend. The legend. Listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. You get any type of injury, go see Chad Mitchell. Do what all these athletes do. This will be his 26 years on Bay County Island. It's incredible. No, I don't think anybody's done that anywhere in the country.
And that's on his own dime.
Yes. I mean, 26 years. A guy is truly a legend around here. Now, you speak of another legend. That's Kyle Vandegrift. The guy is incredible. Vandy Roofing and General Contracting. They design it. They build it. Commercial, residential. But if you're looking to get a nice, great, not just a nice, but a great roof that can stand up to this weather, I tell you what, you go with Vandy Roofing. They do incredible work. TK Vandy Roofing, that's who I'm going to go with. They do the best. This guy, Vandergriff, everything he touches turn to gold. He learned it from his mama and papa. Kyle Vandergriff, love that kid. Turf Pro Pet, well, he's not a kid anymore. Turf Pro Pest Control, Patrick does a great job. Your yard will look absolutely beautiful. If you got some problems with bugs getting in your house, Patrick will do a great job with that also. Listen to Patrick, 8:30 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Steve's Bike Shop. I love Steve. He's a great coach. Youth League, swim coach is incredible. Steve, we got to get you back on the air. But Julie's over there. We got a bike. I'm not going to tell you where, Walmart. As soon as we drove out, the tires go flat. We got it over there. Steve's going to put some new tires on there, so hopefully that'll be the answer. But these electric bikes that everybody's going crazy about, he's got a large selection of electric bikes. Go check it out right across from Sam's. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The ESPN Northwest Florida Big Bracket Challenge.
Hi, this is Dave Neat from Panama City Beach, and I just won $250 from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida playing the Big Bracket Challenge. Thanks so much to Pepsi, Panama City, Toyota, UCB Hobby for making this happen. It was a lot of fun playing against other listeners and staff. Can't wait for next year. And go Ducks!
It's ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Thursday's weather forecast. Partly sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 80 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight, a light breeze and a temperature of 72. The same tomorrow around 80 with some sun and a wind around 8 miles per hour out of the south. Partly cloudy in the morning, but otherwise likely thunderstorms Saturday and warm around 78. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida. Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi. Alabama Update is brought to you by the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Steverson Air Conditioning. Jason and his crew do incredible work. He graduated from Mosley High School. He started this business, family-owned, family-run. They do incredible work. The greatest commercial you can ever give for this man. This story happened. We're walking out of J. Michael's. I'm walking in J. Michael's restaurant. A guy stops me and goes, "Hey, I heard that commercial from Stevenson Air Conditioning. You're right about them." He had gone with another big brand, and he called and called and called. Finally got him, and they go, "We can be out there in a week." He said, "The heck with that." He called Stevenson Air Conditioning. They were there. They called him late in the afternoon. They were there the next day. He said those people were so kind, did an incredible job. And he said it really wasn't even a big deal. I thought it was a big issue, and it wasn't. I'm telling you, they're the most honest people you can deal with. I love Stevenson Air Conditioning. If you have any problem day or night, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Get it serviced about every 6 months. Your power bill will go down. It runs better. Your house will be cool in the summer and warm in the winter. #1 in the country, Stevenson Air Conditioning. Take away, Jeremy Prison. What do you got for us on Alabama?
Oh, there is so much going on in Tuscaloosa. It's like where to begin. And we're going to start with what's happening this evening in T-Town. President Donald Trump will be in town tonight to speak at the University of Alabama commencement event. This will be an address to the 2025 graduating class that will feature none other than President Stuart Bell, but also former coach of the Crimson Tide, Nick Saban.
Woo!
So that was released. That'll take place at Coleman Coliseum.
Who's going to get the bigger reception, Saban or the president?
It's going to be fascinating to watch. That is for sure. So, in some places like Alabama, Nebraska, where football is king, you see this blurring of politics and sports. Tom Osborne, great Nebraska coach, went on to be senator there, and of course, who's one of the sitting senators from Alabama right now?
Tommy
Tuberville. What's he being rumored to do potentially? Run for governor. Charles Barkley's always threatened to run for governor of Alabama.
I'm glad you bring this up. You think Nick will ever do that?
Could you see if Tuberville were to step out, there's going to be an open Senate contest?
Wait a minute. I think if Nick wanted to be governor, he'd win that.
Oh, he'd win governor going away too. But if he wanted to be Senator Nick Saban, he probably could pull that off. Now, Saban's registered Democrat. That's kind of known, but I think he'd win as a Democrat right in. Easiest path, obviously, in Alabama would be to be a Republican. His close friend Joe Manchin,
that's right,
from West Virginia. He's kind of a lobby campaign for him, but otherwise he's kind of stayed out of politics. But NIL, NCAA,
he could help the college football.
Exactly.
But let me tell you this. Up in certain states, Alabama, when you're my age and his age, everybody was Democrats back then. So I don't know what he really believes.
No, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manchin was always kind of an independent thinking, and it's a different era, different time here. But he will be with President Trump tonight there at Coleman. And obviously, discussions around the open, seat for governor, because Kay Ivey, who's been governor for a long time, completed Bentley's term and run her two terms, but she will limit out. So fascinating. But only in Alabama or places like that could you see a college football coach just maneuver right into politics and be just fine.
I got a question for you. And is it different from each state for as how long you can be a governor, or is that okay? Yeah. So what was in Alabama?
So I think it's you cannot succeed yourself twice in an election. See, she filled Bentley's term, then got to run for her own, and then got to run that second term. So that's how Wallace.
So 2 terms, you're out.
But then you could come back, like Wallace did.
That's right,
did.
George Wallace did. That's right. His wife took over.
Right. That's exactly right. But each state constitution has different requirements.
That's great. I'm glad that's something to think about. That's pretty cool.
So watch tonight up in Coleman Coliseum and see what the reports
How could you watch that? Go online?
Oh, I don't know. It'd probably be covered online. I mean, President speaking in Alabama, they'll have news agencies there. Maybe someone in the sports news industry that could help us with that.
I think I will. I think I do. I will do that. Okay. Yeah. Matter of fact, Chris Stewart's birthday was yesterday. But you're right. That's shamey about that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right.
Sorry.
So that's one thing going on. And just kind of in the sort of tweener time of spring football and before we talk all things coming season, they're talking about the Mount Rushmore of Alabama football running backs. Okay.
Ooh, good luck with that.
Well, so this article, who would you put as your 4?
All right. Mine will be totally different than everybody else's. Derrick Henry would be number 1.
Okay.
Wilbur Jackson played back in the Wishbone. He still owns the Alabama record, 7.1 or 7.7 yards per carry. Even the guys played back then would say if they ran any other formation, this guy would have won the Heisman. He was unbelievable. Johnny Musso. I love Johnny. But I don't know, the 4th one.
Well, Josh Jacobs was asked that question, and these were his 4. And all the ones you mentioned were good. He put Sean Alexander.
Oh, yeah. Golly. Yeah.
Derrick Henry.
No doubt.
Trent Richardson.
Trent, I forgot about Trent, yeah.
And Mark Ingram.
Another Heisman Trophy. Got all about him. But you, as a fan, who would you pick? Not.
Yeah.
I'm going with the heart, man. Johnny Davis. Do you remember Johnny Davis?
Watched
the big fullback.
Yeah.
Johnny, I played football with him. I love Johnny. I'd put Johnny on there.
I mean, it'd be hard to get just 4.
Yeah.
But those were Jacob's 4. And interestingly enough, he did not put himself up there. He's a good one, too.
He's unbelievable, too. Yeah.
So
who is your 4?
I think Henry's got to be up there.
He's got to be number 1.
Just a beast of a runner.
6'3", 250.
And Alexander's certainly there. Richardson definitely on field, during his time at Alabama. His pro career never materialized into what it could be. But if you look in there, Bobby Humphreys.
Bobby Humphreys, he went up to Penn State.
And just lit them up there.
200-something yards rushing.
And, until Alexander...
And Sean Alexander, what did he have as a freshman against LSU at LSU?
Like 297 or something like that. And then Stallings didn't start him the next week.
I know. I ain't going to start that freshman running back, boy. I don't know. But Johnny Musso, you're too young. Johnny Musso, the Italian Stallion, was unbelievable. He was incredible.
Yeah.
But he wasn't big like these other guys.
No. So there you are as far as...
what about Yelding? He was unbelievable.
T.J. Yeldon he was very slippery running back there, and he had his moment against LSU there on the screen pass.
There's so many. To put 4, that'd be almost impossible.
Impossible. But
same thing for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
All the great running backs they've had. Auburn. Look at Auburn. Auburn's running back's incredible.
Yeah. It's pretty crowded field there with not a lot of space. So, good news for Alabama, as we look at the end of the spring season, no players lost to the portal this spring.
That makes me believe we got a shot. Mm-hmm. That makes me think he might have turned the corner, coach and staff.
No, that's pretty remarkable.
It's incredible.
Ole Miss had 9 scholarship players heading to the portal on the other end. Yeah. Is there trouble in Oxford?
I don't know.
Or is there just more opportunity outside Oxford?
I just think he's brought some great players there, and there some guys think, hey, I'm not going to play. I'm telling you, watch out for Ole Miss.
Okay, so you're still high on Ole Miss.
I like
Lane,
the coach.
Lane, yeah. I like Lane, too. I really do there. So, quickly, Alabama baseball has a pivotal series against the Vandy boys starting tomorrow night up in Nashville. The reason why it is pivotal, Vanderbilt's ranked number 15 right now, 31-13. Alabama's on number 18. Those top 16 host sites for the regional. This is one of those that could separate it. If Alabama can go into Vanderbilt, get 3, they bump into that top 16. They don't have to look at being a high 2 seed and being able to stay at home at the Joe. Softball is back at home this week against South Carolina, and spring sports kind of drawing to a close there. Alabama needs to get the win there as they head to Columbia and play. So a lot happening at the capstone.
Oh, man. And the biggest is the President of the United States and Saban on stage together. That's going to be incredible. All right, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. Turf Pro Petro, I just talked about Patrick. Listen to him every Monday, 8:30. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Pat Purnell, the city commissioner. Love Pat. What a wonderful man. But his restaurant's incredible. You know what, though? Pat trains those people. He hired great people, and he lets them do their job. They treat you like family when you walk in there. Tommy and I love going in there. Julie and I love it. Wildcat loves it. Great food, great atmosphere. Get out to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. The key word is there, Lynn Haven Beef O'Brady's. Go check it out. David Adams, when you get through with that, head on down and get some jewelry. Russ and Amber do an incredible job.
The spring collection.
They're getting ready to have a big deal, right?
Yeah, Mother's Day spring collection is in, and they'll appraise and clean your jewelry for free at David Adamson Designer Jewelry, Highway 77, Lynn Haven.
And the legendary J. Michael's Restaurant, all you bikers down here, go check it out. It's like walking into a museum. They got surfboards everywhere, shotguns, pistols all over the place, TVs. It's incredible. Money hanging from the wall, motors hanging from the wall. It's unbelievable. Go check it out. Pictures of every big-time coach in the history of college football, NFL. The legendary J. Michael's, best seafood, coldest beer. Go check it out on Thomas Drive. We'll be right back. 104.3. Thank you for Stevenson Air Conditioning, the Alabama update. Number one, Jason Stevenson Air Conditioning. We'll be right back.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Thursday's weather forecast. Partly sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 80 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight, a light breeze and a temperature of 72. The same tomorrow around 80 with some sun and a wind around 8 miles per hour out of the south. Partly cloudy in the morning, but otherwise likely thunderstorms Saturday and warm around 78. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now to learn more.
800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. That's 800-605-4650.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Bonafide and qualified.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
Certified.
From the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle! Hey, Martha, Kenny, James, Jenna. How are they doing? How are the Walmarts doing?
Doing well. Good to see them all here. They had, great families all the way around there, and it's just.
Did the girls get to come home for Easter, or did they go to Atlanta?
They were here. So,
good. I tell you what, that's a great family. Jenna works for, I think she's still working for the school board.
I think so.
Yeah, and God, what Jane, they're just great people, and I tell you what, they love the Auburn Tigers. Stevensons, they go to your church. Elizabeth.
Segrist, yeah.
Yeah,
the Segrist, Steve and Elizabeth, they love their Tigers too there.
Golly, they might be the biggest Auburn fans I know. They go to all the basketball games, football games. They are enjoying life. Wonderful people. And they just had their
grandbabies growing up. We got a baptism on the books here. So,
all right.
That's gonna be
cool,
fun.
Man. That's cool. Well, you got to be proud of the Auburn Tiger. Baseball's doing well. Softball, okay. But football, we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's focus on baseball just for a second. They topped Stanford ahead of the big weekend, big showdown with Tennessee. Auburn, whatever poll you want to look at, there's so many different polls. I'll use this one. They're ranked 11th. They'll face number 6 Tennessee at Tennessee, which is a tough thing to do. Tennessee's won these national championships. Another thing, did you realize Tennessee? And I'll look it up and go over it later. But as far as fans, they might be the best around. They set the record for, you combine women's basketball, football, baseball. More people go watch that. They're on top.
Yeah,
they're on top. People love Tennessee sports.
And props to Tennessee because there are professional markets there, but folks love their volunteers.
They do. They truly do. I got to give them credit, man. They pack it out no matter what the sport is. This is going to be tough on Auburn. We'll see how it plays out. Auburn baseball right now as we speak, 11-10 in the SEC. They're 31-14 overall. At home, they're really good. 21-6 on the road. Hey, they're on the road, and the SEC is brutal. They're 4-8. Neutral sites are 6-0. Friday, May 2nd, Auburn at Tennessee. First pitch is 5:30 Central Time. Now, Saturday's game, Auburn at Tennessee, 5 o'clock, first pitch. And then on Sunday, it's going to be a 1 o'clock start. Now, TV will be on the SEC Network. I don't think it's on SEC Network Plus. I think it's just on SEC Network. I think you'll be able to get that one if you have the SEC Network. Now, Auburn softball, not what we want, not where you want to be. In the SEC, they're 6-18. I don't know which sport's the best in the SEC. Is it softball? Is it incredible with Oklahoma in there and Texas? Or is it baseball? Who knows? I don't know which one's better, but the softball is incredible also. Overall record, they got 30 wins, 21 losses. At home, Auburn softball team is 17-9. On the road, they're 4-11. Neutral sites are 9-1. So again, on the road is brutal in the SEC. Friday, May 2nd, 6 o'clock, Auburn, NC State. Saturday, May 3rd, 2 o'clock, Auburn versus NC State. And then Sunday's first pitch will be at 1 o'clock. Now, Auburn football, we said it, they're deep at every position across the board. I don't care what they can cry. You can say all you want. I'm telling you now, if you're an Auburn football fan, you're in good shape. They've got talent across the board. It's best it's been in a while. He's done an incredible job recruiting. We've talked about that. They're up there as far as baseball and football, as far as bringing in transfer players. They're in the top 10 in the country, both sports. It's time to get it done. The breakout players are players to watch in 2025. They listed Auburn's Cam Coleman, the true freshman last year. And let's be honest, he didn't have a great quarterback. The quarterback was pretty good, but nothing, I don't want to be ugly. He was good, but not great. Mm-hmm. Good kid. But Cam, he had 23 receptions, 306 yards, and 6 touchdowns. If the offensive line had better protection, the quarterback would have thrown better. They're better across the board. They really think Coleman's going to have a breakout year. That he did all this as a true freshman. We all knew about the 5-star coming out of high school, how good he was. This year, you're really going to know about this young man, and I really believe that also. He arguably, at the end of the year, was one of the best receivers in the country in late November. I really think that also. He's really good. And this is going to be a good year for Auburn football, I'm telling you. Now, Jeremy, Auburn's schedule, I think, is a little bit better than it was last year. I don't know if it's better. I think it's easier than other teams in the SEC. Let me put it that way. Auburn will face some of them. This is what the Cam Coleman, this was by the AP Press, players to watch out for in 2025. Here are some, just some, not all of them, just a few of the players that Auburn will face this year that made the list, some of the best breakout players from the AP Associated Press list. Texas A&M, Will Lee, the kid can play. And no doubt about that. Watch out for him. I'd go to the other side of the ball. He can do it. He had a pick 6 last year for 93-yard touchdowns. I think he had like 4 tackles, 2 interceptions, 4 tackles for loss, playing corner blitz. Now, Oklahoma, which is going to be a critical game, I think, for both coaches. The winner of this game, Auburn gave it away last year. They go into Oklahoma, but that Mason Thompson Jr. is a big-time ball player, really quick. He's not the biggest kid in the world, but he's extremely quick. Got the first step is unbelievable. 6'2", about 250. He had 9 sacks last year. They think his production this year is going to be even better at Oklahoma. They got to protect him. They got to know where he's at. Kentucky. Listen to this kid. I think you know who he is.
Talk to me.
You're going to like this. He transferred in from the mighty Alabama Crimson Tide. Mm-hmm. Kendrick Law, wide receiver. He was at Bama, did a pretty good job. 33 receptions, 343 yards, 1 touchdowns. They think he's going to be a star at Kentucky. So he is a gifted athlete. He was a big-time recruit.
Do you know where that Cam, I don't know his last name, came from? Do you know who I'm talking about? And and right now my memory fails me as what position he's going to play.
Cam.
But he has signed about a month ago with Kentucky.
I'm not sure. I'll try to go back and look at that for you.
My brain just went.
Mine does that a lot lately. It's kind of sad. But these are some of the great players that Auburn's going to be faced. Missouri. They're high on Kevin Coleman, the receiver. All he did last year, 74 receptions, 932 yards, and 6 touchdowns. But this is a team that produces NFL players like no other. They're knocking it. Ohio State, it was Bama. Ohio State, Georgia right now are producing NFL players like you would not believe. But this kid, I really like him. Christian Miller, defensive line, Georgia, 6'4", 305. He can play. Ain't no doubt about it. He can play. And he's not the only. That's just one of them we're talking about.
And LSU's been in the past
Yeah.
producing some NFL players too, right?
But I look at these games.
Yeah.
Auburn really needs to beat A&M. They've had success on the road at Texas A&M. I picked out Oklahoma because they got all the names, all these different players. But Oklahoma's a must-win for both teams. Auburn really needs to win that ball game. Kentucky, they got to win that ball game. Missouri, you got to win that game. And Jeremy, I think he needs a split. I think he needs to beat either Georgia or Alabama. If he loses to both of them at home,
it's still going to be
people going to be upset.
Yeah.
He can go 9-3, but if 2 losses are at home to Georgia and Alabama, that's not good.
I remember a long time ago, one of the assistants I happened to know who went with Tuberville to Auburn, and they said they weren't leaving Ole Miss, and then they left that night, and they're being fired at the airport on the way out of town. And said Pat Dye walked in, and he was dressed in camouflage, and he was getting ready to go hunting. And it was the wee hours of the morning. They're all kind of just sort of what's going on. And Dye walked in and said, "Boys, welcome to Auburn." And this time, the way the schedule was written, it was Georgia and Alabama at the end. It was before they moved it. He said, "There's 2 games at the end of that schedule. You better split them, but don't split that last one very often." So you're exactly right.
You know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Both schools, when you coach at Alabama, you coach at Auburn, you're expected to win. You're demanded to win and win big, and you can't lose the other one 3 or 4 years in a row. You can't. You'll get fired. I don't care who it is. You'll get fired.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. I just talked about the Auburn update. Thank you. Brought to you by Beef O'Brazen in Haven. Go check it out. We're going to do a giveaway. We want to give something away. Tell us what we're doing.
Now, tomorrow here on the Coach James Hale Show, we're going to be giving away something pretty special. Let me find out what it is. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was join us today for Ryan and Jay on the Inside Drive. The Best of Bay has decided to celebrate 2 years of broadcasting history with Ryan and Jay on the Inside Drive, and they're going to be giving you today the opportunity to win a exclusive Golf Plus gear, a bunch of really cool golf gear from Golf Plus. So set your reminders on your cell phone or on your watch for right around 12:40 today, and be ready to call 850-215-6290. The 5th caller will win. They'll tell you more about that contest. And, of course, tomorrow, right here on the Coach James Hale Show, we're going to be giving you the latest edition of the ESPN 104.3 summer T-shirt, and we'll tell you how to win one of those tomorrow right here on the Coach James Hale Show. But join the Inside Drive today for some really cool giveaways.
And we want to thank all of our wonderful sponsors for letting us brag about your great businesses. And I tell you what, we can get people to the door.
If it's the truth.
That's right. We can get you to the door. You got to keep them. I tell you what, we got great people. Max Fit Sports Nutrition, J. Michael's Restaurant, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. David's got 2 great locations now, right across the street from Pier Park. I'm sorry, right across the street from the Navy base. Tonight's the night. Thursday night, karaoke's going on. You can hear some great singing tonight. Great place to have a birthday party and the best happy hour out there. Buy one, get one free. House wine, draft beer, and margaritas. Go check it out. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. The other one's on Front Beach Road, not too far from Walmart. Go check that one out also. We'll be right back. You listen to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Braves are back.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
And ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for Braves country.
He just wrecked that thing. Straight away center, a homer for Riley.
Sales, Strider, Acuna, Ozzie, Riley, Profar, and Coach Snitker lead a stellar lineup. Listen live nights and weekends on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Get ready to connect. ESPN Northwest Florida is thrilled to introduce the newest rock stars to the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome to the Beach Chamber. Alpha Title Co-Agency. American Legion Post 402. Cupcake Chaos and Revival House General Store.
We're here to champion your success and connect you with this amazing community.
Congratulations from ESPN Northwest Florida.
And the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce, reaching Bay County and beyond.
Want to know the inside scoop on your favorite teams? From the gridiron to the hardwood to the diamond. For comprehensive sports coverage, it's ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
And welcome back. 104.3. Jeremy Pridgeon, Coach Hale, Coach Wildcat. We're by ourselves today. Tommy's not here. Josh not here. But we're doing okay. We're having a good time. We hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful... Jeremy, can you believe it? Baseball's almost over. Spring football is going on throughout the state of Florida, and school's almost out. You know the day when school is out?
I think we pushed, with different schools here, charters and public and all that. I know our kids go to like the 28th of May, right after Memorial Day.
It's almost out.
Mm-hmm. So we're in the last month. Here we go.
Now, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to the SEC tournament. I've got to go to Mobile or Foley first, and then we're heading up to Birmingham.
Going to Hoover.
So I'm going to need somebody to cover or we'll do a national because I'm not missing that. My question to you, are you going to make it up there to the game? Because Texas is going to be there, Oklahoma, Mississippi State. Everybody's going to be there this year.
I don't see it happening between kindergarten and graduation and 8th grade graduation and all the things that we've got hitting. It's going to, but it's a spectacle. If you've never been,
you got to go.
It's fun. And it's just a single elimination format this year.
Yeah, I just want to see. I'm glad Mississippi. I was going to ask you about this. At baseball, I did the number one team right now. When I did this a while back, it was Mississippi State Bulldogs, and most people go to, I think it was at 10,000 they averaged a home game. It's incredible. 10 or 11, the LSU was second. They fired their coach in the middle of the season, and we asked Brian about it. He's a big Bulldog himself. But that did kind of surprise me because baseball, you usually don't hear about them getting rid of them. But Brian made a good point. They want to go out, and that's an attractive job. You want that job. You got every resource to win there. They're going to spend money on NIL probably like no other team in the SEC. You get the biggest crowds. That's a big-time job. And they wanted to get out in front of it and get the best coach they can. Do you have any idea who they'll go after?
It's eerily similar to what Florida State did with, getting Jarrett in. They got ahead of it to make sure Jarrett knew, okay, if you're interested, come our way. I don't know who fits that billing right now.
I was just wondering, and I just out loud, just thinking. I don't want to say it in front of him because he probably make me mad. Brian make me mad. Do you think they'd go after the Southern Mississippi coach? They're winning big.
They're winning big.
They're ranked, and they don't have the money. They don't have the resources.
It is a possibility because what you do have is you have the reputation, you have the networks, you have the relationships.
High school coach, everything.
All those things. And if we added the resources around somebody who's already developed a reputation to win, and relationships with the coaches in the region, and it's very possible.
And the only reason I brought it up, because Texas did it to Texas A&M.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah. I think you're tracking there. You have Southern Miss baseball right there, year in, year out, and it's still going to have a ceiling on it. But we'll see. So they're 32-13 right now, 15-6 overall.
Beat Ole Miss.
Yeah, got the win over the Rebs, and they're sitting there kind of on the southern part of the state, just kind of needling the big boys.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that could happen. I'm just saying.
I think you're on to something.
Yeah. We'll see. All right, this is this article was done by College Sports Network. Post-spring college football playoffs. We already know who the national champ's going to be. I'm going to let you know now. Here's the first round of the playoffs, Jeremy, and see what you think. And I think they're going to be good. The Buckeye boys are telling me to hold off on this, and I get it. James Franklin's always let me down. But number 5, Penn State versus number 12, UNLV. Who's the coach there now?
Oh, gosh. Who left out there?
Wasn't he from Florida?
Mullen.
Yeah. Good coach. I think he's a good coach. Maybe not a great recruiter, but a good coach. Number 6, Georgia. Georgia's only made number 6. They get a home game versus number 11. Listen to this. This is going to be an interesting game. He's coming back home. The University of Miami.
The Fighting Carson Becks.
The Carson Becks back in Athens. That's going to be special. I think Georgia will win that one. Number 7, Notre Dame versus number 10. Roll Tide.
Okay.
You'll be at that game.
Rolling up to South Bend.
Going to be cold. Whew. Would you go? Have you been to a game there?
I've not been to South Bend. It's on my bucket list.
I'd love to do that. LSU makes it number 8. Look at all these SEC teams, Big Ten. LSU number 8 gets a home game against the powerhouse, number 9 ranked Oregon Ducks.
You definitely want that as a home game. You don't want to have to make that trip out.
Yeah. How many? That's 1, 2, 3 from the SEC and 1, 2 from the Big
Ten. 1 ACC.
1 independent.
Yeah.
Well, they got to give the Cinderella team in there too. Conference, remember, you got the conference champs. They're going to do it again this year, which is wrong.
UNLV's the Power 5.
Yeah. So here we go. Number 4 ranked Kansas. They win their conference. They get the bye. They get to host number 5 Penn State. Good luck with that. Number 3, Clemson, ACC champions. They're going to face number 6, Georgia, because Georgia puts it on Miami at home. So you got 3 versus 6. Number 2, the Texas Longhorns. Notre Dame comes back at the very end, kicks a field goal. They beat the Alabama Crimson Tide. Number 2, Texas versus number 7, Notre Dame. And the defending national champs, the number 1 team in the country, is the rematch. Everybody's been waiting for it all year. Number 1, Ohio State versus number 9, Oregon. Oregon takes care of LSU, late touchdown pass. They beat LSU at the Baton Rouge. Kelly, they want to fire him. They're going crazy. But you got Ohio State versus Oregon. Number 3, Clemson wins. They beat Georgia. They beat Kirby Smart. Wow. Now they go on to play number 7, Notre Dame. Notre Dame upsets the favored Texas Longhorns. So you got number 3 versus number 7. The number 1 Ohio State Buckeyes, they struggle at first. But at the end, they're too strong. They're too powerful. They beat Oregon, and they play number 5, Penn State. Penn State destroys Kansas State for the national championship. Clemson. Dabo talked about this team. We didn't believe him. Not a lot of people listened to him. This team played as a team. They've been together a long time. They get it done. Dabo's quarterback that he's been high on all preseason, touchdown pass. They beat Notre Dame. They play number 5, Penn State. Penn State finally gets it done. They beat Ohio State. They play for the national championship. Guess who wins?
Not Penn State.
Penn State versus Clemson. This is how the article ends. They ended with Penn State playing Clemson. I don't agree with this one.
No.
I don't agree with this.
This one got off the rails.
Yeah, this College Sports Network, I don't know. I'm not listening to you. I say you're wrong.
Wrong.
Ain't going to happen.
Nope.
I want to go over a story you mentioned off the air, because I met him before. When I was a little boy, Bart Starr used to throw passes to us. Ben Starr had a house near Seth Johnson. There was a huge poster of him kicking the football, not throwing it, kicking the football. He was a punter, kicker at Alabama, Lanier. We played at the same high school. I'll never forget, this is back when he was in the heyday of the Green Bay Packers. He signed autographs from it. My mother had his autograph in our Bible forever. I don't know where it's at now. I think my sister got the Bible. But anyway, that's one of the nicest men I ever met. He came to Arnold High School to see us, but you met him too.
Yeah.
Tell me what your impression of that man.
You're exactly right. I mean, a 5-time championship quarterback with the Packers, and I had the opportunity through a mutual contact to be able to have lunch with him one day at the Montgomery Country Club. And, you're just sitting in the presence of greatness. And he was so deflecting. He didn't really want to talk. You had to just almost coax him out for him to even acknowledge his very storied career. Man of great humility, and he was more interested in learning about you and what you were doing. And we're sitting here. We want to talk about you, what you've done here. Yeah. It kind of came full circle. Addison and I went to Wisconsin this past year, and I got to see Green Bay for the first time. And you see him all over Titletown and, with the lore around Lombardi, and he was instrumental in Lombardi's success. I mean, you can't talk about Vince Lombardi without giving accolades to Bart Starr for, what he did to put Green Bay on the map. So right there, it's kind of Montgomery, Alabama, right up there in Wisconsin, which, that trip was a great trip for a lot of reasons, but a lot of similarities. And they said that, Wisconsin and Alabama are common people separated by a common language. That's that Midwestern accent or Southern accents.
We grew up loving that guy. Our family, we loved him, and he was such a good man. And one thing that really broke my heart, and you probably heard about it too, they used to give the golden football. Remember that? The NFL, if they would give the trophy to the high school the player came from. Well, of course he won it. He was the MVP of the Super Bowl 2 times, right? 1 and 2. And then Namath was the third one, all from Alabama. Well, the golden football, they were going to give it to Lanier High School, and they turned it down. They didn't want it. Yeah. It did not represent the kids that go to the school now.
Right.
I was so disappointed in that attitude and everything. Lanier's closed down now. What are they doing there? Isn't it like some historical
I think there's some
building?
Effort to try to preserve, But
what a beautiful school.
I officiated a few games over there, and you just walk through it. I mean, you got all these All-Americans and all the impact that it had. And
I think it was over 100 years old. When we grew up, we dreamed about going there. It was unbelievable. Won 3 state championships in a row. It was just unbelievable. Almost 3,000 students?
Yeah.
It was incredible. Yeah. All right. We're just memory lane right here. Let's talk about some of our great people. Turf Pro Pest Control, Patrick, every Monday, 8:30 right here. Vandegrift, Kyle Vandegrift, love that guy. Everything he touches turns to gold. The local 115. Go try the gumbo down there. It's outstanding. It's kind of like a sports. It is our Bay County Hall of Fame. We don't have one yet. It is Bay County Hall of Fame. Go check it out. All the coaches, all the players, band members, cheerleaders, pictures on the walls. The crab cakes are incredible. Steve's Bike Shop, love Steve's Bike Shop. He does a wonderful job. They've been open since 1979, 46 years. They got a large selection of electrical bikes. Julie took her bike down there for Steve to repair it. Thank God. Get her out riding her bike and having a good time. Steve's Bike Shop, the only place you even think about going. They do a great job. I got any more time? Stevenson Air Condition, Dr. Chad Mitchell, Newbies. I love John and Charlotte. Bike Week, get out to Newbies. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. I got to take a break. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, the home of the Atlanta Braves.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the Inside Drive.
Join Ryan and Jay today as the Best of Bay awarded Inside Drive celebrates 2 years of broadcasting history by giving you the opportunity to win exclusive Golf Plus gear. Set your reminder for 12:40 today and be ready to call 852-215-6290. It's the Inside Drive.
Middays 11 to 1. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Thursday's weather forecast. Partly sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 80 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight, a light breeze and a temperature of 72. The The same tomorrow, around 80 with some sun and a wind around 8 miles per hour out of the south. Partly cloudy in the morning, but otherwise likely thunderstorms Saturday and warm around 78. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast-charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I would like to say this before we get out of here today. Wildcat, you complete me. You had me at hello. I mean, you're such a sweetheart.
What's the matter with you?
You do such a wonderful job.
Oh, thank you.
I just got to tell you
I missed you too yesterday, but
Yeah,
I understand you guys had some fun.
And Jeremy and Tommy, this is my favorite day. I loved being around Jeremy. I just feel better about myself. And Tommy, I love him to death. He'll be here soon. Jeremy, what's going on? The local baseball scenes?
Yeah, we kind of started the morning talking a little high school, and all of your softball is heading to district championships. Those should be wrapping up today, and there'll be the release of the state brackets toward the weekend, and they are staying with a single elimination format. We talked about the best 2 out of 3 with baseball, but softball's still the single elimination, and so we'll have that information. Got a lot of local teams that have eyes on the prize and have
Arnold
a chance.
High School.
Yeah. But on the boys baseball, with the 2 out of 3, they actually had to cut the season a little shorter to get it in. So in the rural division, they have finished up those series. Port St. Joe defeated Franklin County in 2, 13-8 and 11-1. They advanced as the 2 seed to go on and play Cottondale. Cottondale defeated Bluntstown in 2, 10-3 and 8-6. So that series will start next week on the 5th at Cottondale for games 1 and 2, and if it goes to a third, it'll go down to Port St. Joe. Holmes County just mowing through everybody.
Let me say something. Tiger Sharks. Wow.
Yeah. Good run there. So Holmes County defeated Chipley 8-3 and 10-0 to win their series. Dang. They await the winner of Jay and Central. That one has gone to 3 over in the Pensacola area.
Holmes County's got to be really good.
Holmes County is the team to beat there in the rural division. We mentioned Bozeman earlier. Bozeman's in a winner-take-all tonight. That series started over at Bishop Snyder in Jacksonville, and Bozeman was able to get a split on the road, and now they forced the higher seed Bishop Snyder to have to come over here and play, and good luck to the Bozeman baseball team tonight. The winner of that one will play Trinity Christian. It could be a third trip back to Jacksonville for Bozeman, so they'll know every stop along I-10. Trinity Christian is the 1 seed there. We've been talking about this team all year. South Walton is just a dominant ball club.
Nick does a great job over there.
And they defeated West Nassau, and they are awaiting the winner of the West Florida Swanee series. So that one split. West Florida was the host, and now they go over to Live Oak to play game 3.
If you're South Walton, you kind of want to make Live Oak travel a long distance, or do you rather go with the Pensacola school?
I'd want to play about 13, 14 innings. And then have to drive back.
South Walton, you heard it here first. No, you heard it here a long time. They're going to win it all. I like those
and
kids.
so South Walton will host as the 1 seed whoever wins that West Florida Swanee series. And then Class 4A, we talked to him earlier this morning. Coach Jones taking the Arnold Marlins back over to Choctawhatchee in a decisive game 3 in that series. If Arnold wins, they will stay at home to open the series. Clay out of Green Cove Springs defeated Pensacola Escambia 2-0. So they are sitting there waiting to see who comes out of the Arnold Choctaw series. Niceville still in 5A. They're playing game 2 against Columbia tonight.
Come on, Marlins. We got to get it done tonight.
So a lot of local teams still with opportunity.
Yeah. And we got to go through it. If they all win, the bigger schools, they all got to get another series.
Mm-hmm.
Bozeman
will go. Arnold, South Walton we know is in. Yeah, so it's good to see the local. And you mentioned talking to Doug Lee just how this area, Bay County, but even the Panhandle holds its own in baseball.
Huge. Baseball is huge.
When you go down to Central South Florida, sometimes the Panhandle schools don't show as well, but Panhandle shows up on the baseball.
Back in the day, it used to be football. Not anymore. It's baseball. All right, 2026 NFL draft odds. The overall pick, if you want to go bet some money right now, go to Vegas and bet some money. The number 1 pick is going to be Texas quarterback Arch Manning. He's at plus 200. We'll see. All right, Jeremy, real quick, we've got 2 names you got to give me. I did this yesterday. I want your opinion on this. You got to pick 2 best players. Here's your list to choose from. The great Bo Jackson, Auburn Heisman Trophy winner. The unbelievable Oklahoma State Barry Sanders. Eddie George, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Ricky Williams, Texas. I'd have Earl Campbell. But anyway, and 2 from the great state of Alabama, the University of Alabama, Derrick Henry, and then Mark Ingram. You got to pick the 2 best. Who are they, in your opinion, and why?
So I got to see Sanders in person when he was with the Lions. And that was an impressive running back. Jackson, obviously, just storied career at Auburn. Did not get to see Eddie George or Ricky Williams in person, but also got to see Ingram and Henry. Henry is definitely in that. I mean, just not only what he did at Alabama, but what he's continued, to do in the NFL. His durability.
And he ain't done. He's not done.
He is still just a man among boys, so to speak. So Henry gets in there. It's pretty close between Sanders and Jackson as far as I'm concerned. And only because I got to see Sanders that day in New Orleans when he's just, running through the Saints, and I had a great end zone seat, and what he was doing was just unbelievable. And that was against NFL talent.
Yeah,
what he did against college talent at Oklahoma State.
Man, playing with boys.
Yeah, exactly. But Jackson. The 2-sport athlete, the athlete that he is, Bo knows. I mean, all that whole thing of the 80s growing up, around that kind of keeps him out there as well. So very closely, I'll go with Jackson over Sanders.
Well, here's mine. I had a tie at number 1. Okay. I got Bo Jackson and Barry Sanders tied because I saw Bo Jackson do stuff I couldn't believe. But really, Sanders is just a little bit more of a take it to the house type guy. And I'd have Derrick. If I had to pick 2, Derrick would come in 3. And it just being looking at it for a football way. But Barry Sanders, he was just something you don't see it, and he wasn't that big.
Right.
But he was unbelievable. I seen him do a lateral movement like I've never seen in my life.
There's that one picture of Mark Ingram and Derrick Henry where it looks like Henry's about 6 feet taller than Ingram.
Yeah.
That just kind of has shifted the mindset of Alabama fans around those 2.
Are you going on just pure football athletic ability, or the overall person?
Well, just the greatest running back.
Well, then
who would you go?
I got to agree with you on that one because those lateral moves, which they
quick
don't do
feet,
anymore. Yeah.
Unbelievable, man.
Nothing like that anymore.
And Jeremy, he walked away healthy. I've had enough. I'm gone, and never came back.
Right.
So he must have been wise with his money, or just a wise man in general.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy, real quick, what's going on at the church? Tell me where the church is at.
First United Methodist Church, Panama City, and we've got a big Sunday this Sunday. We have so many in our community who have taken part in things in our community life center that was built back in 2011 during the hurricane. Coach, it was one of the buildings on the Panama City side that did not sustain a lot of damage, and several congregations met there during those initial days, and it's just been a place to gather. Recreation leagues, sports leagues, all of those things happen. Well, after 14 years of carrying a note on that, we're going to burn the note Sunday, and we're excited for that.
Did I help out?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, have a great day. We're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick. Austin Reeves wasn't ready to shoot a three. Terrible. LeBron takes a deep three. LeBron with the lazy inbounds pass. LeBron gets called